I apologize if I got any of those signs wrong. I'm really bad. I'm just starting out, so I'm not good. Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing something pretty different than we've ever done before. I'm a university student in film school. I talk about that a lot, and one of the classes that I have to take is a drama of diversity class, and it's basically where we just watch different movies about different cultures and then we talk about the diverse perspectives those movies have. One thing that really annoyed me was that when we were doing this discussion on disabilities, we were talking about people who are deaf and deaf representation in film, and I brought up Godzilla vs Kong as being a really cool example of deaf representation in film, and everybody just kind of laughed and didn't take it seriously simply because it's Godzilla vs Kong, and that didn't sit right with me. And so I wanted to do a video highlighting the sign language and the deaf culture in Godzilla vs Kong. Now obviously I'm not approaching this from the perspective of somebody in that community. I'm approaching it from the perspective of an outsider, but I think that's also a valuable perspective to have. I've never interacted with a person who's deaf before. I've never met a single deaf person. I've never met somebody who speaks using sign language before, so it's a completely different world to me, and it's a world that I never really started thinking about until I watched Godzilla vs Kong. There are very few movies I can think of that use sign language in modern culture. I can think of one character from The Walking Dead who disappeared after very few episodes of showing up. I can think of a couple Planet of the Apes movies, and I can think of A Quiet Place. And when I realized that there's not a lot of movies that use sign language, it got me thinking about how it is a little horrible that we tolerate sign language in movies so long as it's a monkey doing it but not a person. I think that's really sad. And so I wanted to highlight Godzilla vs Kong as being the only example of a massive blockbuster film like this kind of movie. There's no other movie like Godzilla vs Kong that uses sign language that I can think of. Now, of course, there could be some out there. I just can't think of any, and I can't think of any that star any deaf leads. So for this video, I wanted to highlight Kaylee Hottle, who plays Gia in Godzilla vs Kong, because she opens up a whole new world to a lot of us that none of us really were aware of before. Starting out, I wanted to talk about some of the things Alexander Skarsgård had to say about her on set. He recognized that she is the star of this movie. He also said that he and Rebecca Hall both tried to learn ASL in order to communicate with Hottle on set. Skarsgård was impressed with Hottle's professionalism and her ability to take notes from the director. It's especially impressive because this is her first feature film. She was super quick to adapt and take notes, and it blew everybody away. Now getting into a little bit about who is Kaylee Hottle. This is just stuff I've gathered from interviews. I've got all of the links down below, so go check them out if you want. They're really fun to watch. According to these interviews, Hottle was around 9 when she shot Godzilla vs Kong. I can't imagine the amount of pressure you must be under going into your first major feature role, and it's Godzilla vs Kong, and you're 9 years old. She's in 6th grade now, meaning she was in around 4th grade-ish when she was working on this movie. She's a Disney girl and not a giant monster fan. Hottle says she just kind of goes with the flow, and she actually seems really easygoing, and it's kind of incredible just how calm she takes it all. It's really impressive. Although she likes acting isn't her thing. She isn't sure what she wants to do in the future, and she says it's not certain, but it is likely that she will act in more projects in the future. I really hope she does because I want to see her back. Whether it be in the Monsterverse or just any other project she takes up, I'd love to see it. At school, she likes to play softball and run track. She also states she's a fan of Millicent Simmons from A Quiet Place, whose name I don't think I got that one even close. Interestingly, Hottle never wanted to be an actor. A casting director from some of the commercials she had worked on when she was younger reached out to her, and she denied multiple times, thinking it was a scam. I've actually been in that exact same position, except they weren't offering for Godzilla vs Kong, obviously. And Godzilla vs Kong is her first major role, and she was handpicked for it. The role wasn't written for her, but they specifically picked her for the character. And it's a good thing too, because she absolutely kills it. She eventually auditioned based on a secretive script about a girl on a ship whose parents had died, and it was actually nothing to do with Godzilla vs Kong. Hottle got to film in Hawaii and Australia, where she enjoyed doing her own stunts, and she liked running around and swimming. She describes a scene where she falls from an explosion, where they had to do a few takes of it, and she eventually let a stunt actor take over for her. She said her favorite scene is barely in the film. It barely makes it. It's when Gia is trapped in the ship as it starts to flood after Godzilla flipped it over. She shot in the flooding elevator for a long time, but little of this makes it in the movie. The scene of Kong and Godzilla fighting on the ship is also her favorite part, and she also talks about some scenes where massive bombs are going off in front of her and the cast past that doesn't make the actual movie, along with some scenes of her running around through the jungle. I would have loved to see those scenes. She also loved traveling and eating food wherever she went. She also tells a story about doing magic tricks with Rebecca Hall, and then she got to go to SeaWorld, and she got to go see the Sydney Opera House. She was honored to work with Millie Bobby Brown because people at her school knew Millie Bobby Brown, knew of her, of course. She was able to talk with Alexander Skarsgård and Rebecca Hall a little bit because, of course, they both tried to learn sign for her, and Rebecca was apparently a pretty good signer. She only met Millie Bobby Brown for 2 days, and yeah, I mean, when you watch the movie, you get why. They're not on screen together a lot. Hottle acted against a green screen with laser dots and some crosses. There was no stand-in for Kong, no props of any kind, and this was really hard for her to adjust to. And you'd never know it, because she does such a good job. That's also really surprising to me, because I would have thought that they would have had something on set for her to be looking at and interacting with, especially like when she does the finger touch. I would have figured that something would be there, but the fact that she's acting against a green screen and this is her first role, it's super impressive. Hottle said she would learn the lines the night before filming, and she'd have to take it 1 day at a time for the script. Because ASL uses different sentence structure than spoken English, there were times when Hottle would have to explain that the lines they wanted her to say were just wrong, and it would take a little bit for them to understand she needed to fix the lines. There were also times when the framing and lighting needed to be adjusted for her so she would be able to properly sign. Hottle felt weird about seeing herself in Godzilla vs Kong. She was nervous for the movie to come out because she didn't know if people would be happy or mad. I hope she's happy now, seeing that pretty much universally, she's everybody's favorite character. She's certainly mine, and I know she's a lot of your guys's too. In an interview, well, gosh, these names. In an interview by Melissa Elmira Yingst, Hottle reacts to the news that a child was excited to see someone signing in a film like Godzilla vs Kong. She gives a pretty humble answer and states that she's happy she inspired somebody, but she doesn't seem completely aware of how large her reach is. The reason I'm making this video is to show that it's way beyond just the deaf community. It's to everybody. People like me and you guys, at least some of you, and I wanted to celebrate that, and I wanted to celebrate her accomplishments, and I wanted to make this video for her. Her advice to other deaf kids who want to become actors is to never let your deafness stop you and to always keep going for it. Ying states that Hottle had a very large impact on the deaf community, and she is an inspiration to many. Like I said, she's an inspiration to people like myself as well. I'm super jealous. I couldn't imagine. If it was me at that age, I certainly would not be able to handle the excitement and stress and pressure of that job. She does a great job. I'm very jealous, but I'm very proud of her. I think she kills it, and so I'm super happy for her. Her friend's reaction to Godzilla vs Kong was kind of interesting. Her friends noticed she was taking a lot of vacation time 2 years ago when they were filming the movie, and then when they learned she was acting, they thought it was cool, but they moved on shortly after. They were hyped that she worked with Millie Bobby Brown, though. That blows my mind. I guess they are younger, but I couldn't imagine people finding out if I was in a movie. I know my friends, which is, it'd be crazy. Her friends were very supportive when the movie was released, and they would quote some of her lines to her from the film. Ironically, when I was watching the movie the 4th time I saw it in theaters, I also was sitting there in the audience signing along with her. I just thought it was cool, and it made me want to start learning sign language, and so I did. There was a red carpet event held for her in Texas, and it looked like a lot of fun. As far as Kaylee Hottle's impact goes outside of this, the Daily Moth celebrated her appearance as a deaf actress in Godzilla vs Kong on their social media. They made lots of posts about it. The Daily Moth celebrates a deaf being in the film, which is something I learned about. I guess it's like when a movie highlights some sort of, I don't know what to call it, but it's like a special ability that deaf people could do. In this instance, it's when Gia is able to talk to Kong over a long distance through a window, which is actually something we discussed in my diversity class, how cool it is that people who know sign language can communicate through windows. They also celebrated the film starring 2 deaf actresses, because Millie Bobby Brown is also a deaf actress, as she doesn't have hearing in one of her ears. As far as the importance of Gia herself is, I just think she's very important to the world, the real world. She's inspired many people, including myself, to start learning ASL, and I just think it's awesome. So I guess this video was made because I was really bitter that my class kind of laughed at this movie and didn't really give it the time of day simply because it's a big blockbuster film. But I wanted to make this video to highlight how cool I think it is. It's not something that we see a lot, and I'm happy we get to see it. I'd love to see Kaylee Hottle in more things. I think she's wonderful, and I loved watching all these interviews with her. I've got them all linked down below. She's great. I've also got some commercials she did linked down below. Super heartwarming, even though they're like advertisements, but they're great as well. She's awesome, incredibly talented. She's by far the most captivating part of Godzilla vs Kong as far as the humans are concerned. It's like her and Kong are right there tied for me. So I guess I just wanted to make a video celebrating that. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really appreciate all the support on Patreon. Guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. For everybody else, I'll see you next time for the next one. D-Man, out.